Yeah, we on a network, so it'll be like 6 months before but
You said you're on a network?
Queen City Network podcast.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh
but
yeah, okay.
we're always. I just wanted to ask to see. I do a podcast called In Your Business. You ready?
Actually, want to cut it off. Check, test, test, test. All right. All right, testing one. I think we're good. Let me make sure this thing is on.
We're not on yet, right? We are. Okay. Oh, we live already. Isn't that wonderful?
Perfect. Okay. Okay, so I think we're good to go.
All right.
Awesome. Okay. Um, we're going to kick this bad boy off. Ouch. Folks, thank you for joining us tonight. This is kind of a first for the network. This is, of course, Square Media Network. The show is the project with Steve Rutherford, and this is the first time we've had a show at 9 p.m. So thank you, folks, for watching. Not that it's late, but typically our shows are at 7 o'clock. But this is kind of indicative of. It shows you that things are growing
Mm-hmm.
and everything will not fit into a 7 p.m. time slot. With us tonight, I was trying to get this guy for a while, and we were messaging each other and trying to make some things happen. And luckily, we made some things happen.
It worked
Cathay,
out.
how are you, man?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely welcome. You are very welcome. Hold on a second. Okay. So, and I'm guessing that your drive here was okay.
Yeah, yeah. It was like 20 minutes.
Right.
Wasn't that bad?
Yeah, yeah, it wasn't too bad.
That's just like Charlotte. Charlotte's 20
Drive-
minutes to everywhere.
That's exactly right. That's so true. Are you from Charlotte?
I'm not from Charlotte. I'm from Spartanburg, South
Oh,
Carolina.
yeah. Okay, Sparkle City.
Yeah. I've been in Charlotte for like 9 years though, so
Right.
I'm a Charlottean at this point.
Sure.
Yeah.
What brought you here?
Originally, my cousin lived here, and after college, first I moved to Philly,
Right.
and then I ended up here.
Right.
It got
right.
too cold in Philly, so
Right.
I was like, I can't take it.
Well, it does get cold here. It just doesn't
Not
last
as
very
cold.
long. Right, not as cold and
Yeah.
doesn't last as long.
Right.
That's so true.
Right.
That's true. So you are the CEO of Black Business Owners of Charlotte.
Yes.
Tell me about that. I mean, what is BBOC?
Yeah, so BBOC, Black Business Owners of Charlotte, we're a safety net for Black business owners, and our mission is to provide resources and business development, and create platforms for business owners to develop capital. And so initially we started off as just the business development side of it,
Right.
networking and things like that. But as as our business owners grew and the organization grew, we realized that we needed to create platforms
Okay.
so that they could continuously create revenue.
But it had to be something. I mean, did you just wake up one day and said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to
Oh
start
no,
BBOC. What happened?
it
What
is.
started it?
It is like a whole, my whole life. It's like how you feel like your purpose to do something,
Sure, yeah.
and everything that from the time when I was a kid, I was an entrepreneur. My dad is an entrepreneur, and he taught me very early on. It's like everything we did was a life lesson. So he could be teaching me how to weld, and he'd be like, you gotta hit the rod while it's hot, and then he'll go into all these other things, and I would kind of get lost, and a lot of those things did not really make sense until now.
Right.
But one thing that he really taught me was foundation. Like
Yeah.
when you build a house, he would always say, people don't know that, before you even lay down the foundation, there's so much under the earth that you got to do, from the pipings and the electric, just a whole bunch of
So
things
true.
that you dig down in.
Yep.
And it really taught me how to build a foundation, like an organization. And then, so in college, I was an ambassador at Clemson University, and I learned a lot how to lead as being an ambassador. I was in student government also when I was in high school, and I was a
Right.
football captain. So I was doing a lot of stuff.
Right. Right.
And all of that to me helped build me being able to lead different types of people. And so while I was in college, I started a volunteer group.
Right.
I did different things in college that really gave me some experience. They taught me how to write grants. And then I graduated landscape architecture, started a landscaping business, and then the recession happened. And the recession is what really birthed BBOC, because at the time I didn't have parents to be able to. I have parents, but I didn't have parents that could afford to help me.
Right.
I was
Right.
making the most money I've ever made. Actually, I haven't even made that much money since then. But I was making a lot of money. I consider myself very successful right out of school, and I had people that I trusted, VPs of Wells Fargo. I had a contract with Ashley Holmes Furniture. I was really doing a lot, and the recession wiped it out. I mean,
Wow.
it was my first time really knowing I knew what poor looks like, but I didn't know what poor and deeply in debt looked like.
Right,
And so, so I was like, I need to start something or do something to help other business owners not go through what I went through. I need to provide a safety net. And it went from a safety net to almost like a trampoline, because I really wanted them to be able to bounce back and catapult. And
Okay.
that's how BBOC started. It started from that, going through that horrible experience.
Was it difficult to get people involved in it?
I would say from the beginning, the people that were around me, when I told them what I wanted to do, they were interested. And now I would say it was harder getting the community involved and getting established organizations to partner and be a part of it. That was the
Sure.
hardest part.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
had so many doors. I remember my favorite place. I'm an artist as well, and so art kind of saved me when I was really going through the recession. I started teaching and things like that.
Right.
But I remember going to a place that I went to all the time, and I talked to the founder of that organization, and I was like, I have this amazing idea. And it would not only help artists, it would help all type of creatives and entrepreneurs. And he was like, that has been done before. We already have a black chamber. Just send them to the black chamber. So I went and partnered with the black chamber.
Right.
And at the time, Renee, I think it's Patterson, but Renee was the president, and she told me, she was like, well, you got a big vision. And she was like, make sure that you're capitalizing on your vision. At the time, I was looking at her like, I don't want to capitalize. I just want to create this. And she was like, go for it. So I'm glad he did send me to the Black Chamber.
Right.
But even the Black Chamber knew I had a different vision.
Right. Of course.
And so, yeah, it was difficult getting organizations, especially black organizations, to align with the vision at first. They needed to see some track records first.
What was your vision, though?
My vision initially was just to have an organization, a membership organization that does networking events, and
okay.
that provides resources, business development workshops. That was it.
Right.
And it was kind of like, I'm gonna do this on the side, and I didn't allow it to grow beyond what I want. beyond that at the time. And I
Yeah.
was like, I can manage that. Me and my team, my small team of 2 people, we can manage that. But what happened is it grew faster than the vision.
Right.
And what really made us grow was the marketplace. And now that I know more about social enterprises and
Right.
I get why it happened, I can now make strategic plans to make it grow even more. But the BBOC marketplace is a place where you can buy, sell, trade from Black business owners. And that group, when I was down and out, that group was still growing, and it just continued to grow and grow. And so it got to the point where I realized I needed to start taking control and making sure that there are no scammers, no spammers, and there are legit business owners in that group, and tie that group to BBOC, the organization.
Right.
And so all of these things birthed later.
Yep.
So yeah,
Wow.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been able? Well, you mentioned the Black Chamber is kind of where you went to first.
Yes.
Have you tried to partner with other organizations that are out there to help Black businesses?
Yeah, so like fast forwarding to now, so that was initial.
Right.
Fast forwarding to now, we have over 30 community partners, and from the Black Chamber, who is now a strong partner, to the city of Charlotte, Charlotte Center City, and as far as Black organizations, 100 Black Women of Charlotte was the first Black organization to sponsor one of our events, which is Charlotte Black Restaurant Week. They were the first Black organization to put, their stamp behind us, and so I always give them props for that. And they were first before the chamber or anybody. So,
right.
And yeah, so like I said, we have over 30 partners now, and how we look at it, Spectrum is actually one of our partners now, and that was a more recent partnership.
Right.
Black Enterprise. These things happened over time, and we realized that the more partnerships we have, the more opportunities for our members.
So what was attractive to them about BBOC?
I think it is because of our we're invested in Black entrepreneurs, and they realize that instead of them having to do go out and reach out to different, try to figure out where to get the where to find Black entrepreneurs, they could come straight to community. We put the community side of it before everything else, and that was something that's different, meaning that we wanted to show the community that Black entrepreneurs were giving. And so in order to be a member of our organization, you have to give. You have to, that's part of the requirements.
Right.
And so we created Day of Service. And with that Day of Service, we do it now quarterly. Those organizations will be there, or people on their staff would be there, and they would end up, word of mouth really helped us. And I would tell you, the Day of Service is really not only got us more connected to partners, but got us more members to want to be involved with BBOC.
Have you ever worked with an organization called CVMSDC, Carolinas Virginia Minority Supply Development Council?
We not partner with them, but I've heard of them.
Okay, yeah. They're really big into getting companies certified. I don't know if you guys certify companies.
So what we do is we partner with the city of Charlotte. Natasha West from the city of Charlotte, really, she'll come out to our members meeting, and we show our members that you can get certified through the city of Charlotte for free. And also we have a relationship with the airport, Charlotte Housing Authority, because there are different contracts for different things. And so we try to partner, or at least have some type of liaison within that organization, so we can call out to them and say, can you come out and provide resources to our members, or at least send us something that we can email to our members. And right now, like when we request that someone comes out, they come.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Now, how many years have you been in existence?
So we started in 2014, so 5 years.
That's good.
But the end of 2014, but we did not function as an organization until around 2016. That's when we really things started making sense.
Yeah.
And the last 3 years, it has catapulted, and that is because of events. When we started doing events, it really showed the community who we are.
Right.
And it
Right.
built
Right.
trust with the community, and it gave them value,
Yeah.
and with the black entrepreneurs, because we gave those events are for them and the community.
Sure.
But especially for them, because it creates revenue sources that they did not have readily available. For the especially for the size of our events. When you're talking about an event that has over 2,000, 5,000 people, and the vendor fees are less than $150.
Right.
And even
That's
less.
kind of unheard of.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah. But we intentionally do that. We intentionally do it because we want them to value it, and we want them to show them that this is an opportunity for you to make some money,
Right.
and for you to market your brand. And yeah, so they ride with us and we ride with them.
That's a good. I mean, that's good though. I think your model is great.
Thank you.
That's a very, very good thing. What's been some of your biggest challenges?
My biggest challenges is for me to being able to, not as an organization, more myself. My biggest challenge is for me to distinguish between passion and monetary, like making money off
Right,
of something.
right. I get
But
that,
the more
yeah.
I put into it, the more I realize I have to make money. I have to survive. That's been very challenging for me. And also, whenever I have to say, you are wrong,
Right.
and we are not going to allow you to do this, I now have to have people in place to basically put the gavel down, because I build relationships with the entrepreneurs,
Sure.
and I hate telling them when they're wrong, and sometimes they can be very wrong.
Right.
But I've learned to put the right people in place.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
my team don't play. Like, they scare me sometimes. Like, for real.
Well, and you need that in your organization. You do need that. Man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What's the largest industry makeup in BBOC? Is it IT? Is it service? What?
Because we do events that cater to restaurants and food trucks, and it would definitely be those in the food industry.
Okay.
But we are expanding. We're adding on to that to make sure that others know that we are invested in it. I'm glad you brought up IT. We're partnering with Desmond Wiggins. He's the founder of Better Exchange, and starting in November, we're going to start doing IT panels. And not like a panel. It's going to be more informal, but it
Right.
is going to be a panel, but it's more informal. For the community to get to know, entrepreneurs to get to know those in the IT industry.
Right.
We're going to have different speakers. We're going to have people really talk about their path, and we're going to strategically invite venture capitalists to come,
Sure, yeah.
and just create that ethos of innovative ideas and creativity. And so so each quarter we're going to make sure we tap into different industries so that people can see that, okay, BBOC is beyond just restaurants and food trucks.
Right.
But food sells. Food gets people to come.
For
food.
sure.
So we will likely have some type of food concept around the event.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
But we are definitely going to show that we are not just about one industry.
Let me ask you this. I'm talking about challenges. This is not personal, but I mean, in terms of owning your own business, has it been difficult to help people realize that failing is not a bad thing?
Wow. Like our show that our In Your Business show today, the topic was about failure.
Oh.
And so I'm glad you're So I don't like telling people that you should throw in the towel. But normally when it's a business owner, you can tell when it is time to throw in the towel, at least time to take a break, a pause.
Right.
Because everything starts falling apart. And you have to being an entrepreneur and a founder of an organization or a business. If you are not doing well, or if you're not mentally able to do the things you need to do, everything, and especially if you're wearing multiple hats, and most of us do.
Sure.
If you can't wear two of those hats, two things gonna fall apart, and it could make everything else fall apart. So what I try to do is, as an organization, what we try to do is find ways to fulfill their needs.
Okay.
And kind of so like balance it out. So we might, it could be workshops. It could be them coming and say, do you have a volunteer to help me? Do you have I need an employee? People ask us for different resources all the time, or entrepreneurs, I should say. And so we try to our best to help them. And
Right.
then if that's not enough, figure out either they need to pivot and create something different, or evolve, or they need to let it go, or even take a break. Sometimes you just need to take a break.
It's funny. Every once in a while I pull out little quotes,
Mm-hmm.
and one of my quotes was, "Don't fear failure. The life of your company, the life of your company depends on it." Or
Wow.
something to that degree, because it does.
Right.
If you never fail, something's wrong. Somebody's
Right.
lying, or something's wrong somewhere. I failed many times.
Right.
And I tell you what, every time I failed, it has helped me to grow, and sometimes in a very different direction.
Right.
And that part's important.
That's a good point. And that's actually when you asked me, the first question was like, why did you start it, and
Right,
how
right.
how really did you start it? It was definitely because of failure. Even though I
Yeah.
can blame the economy all day long,
Sure.
and the recession, but I was not equipped. And had I know what I know now, I would have not put myself out there to get myself in that situation, or have some type of cushion.
Right.
And so and it wasn't even about overspending money. It was really about making these big deals and not having that money already over here in case those deals don't go through.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So
That's true.
yeah, I learned a lot. And so failure, definitely, if you learn from it, if you evolve from it, it's not really failure. It's really just a pivot.
It's a learning
Yeah,
process
learning
for
experience,
sure.
yeah.
Man, oh man. Yeah, you have to do that as a business owner.
Yeah.
What's your, if you know, like your male female breakdown?
Yeah, we have more females. On my team we have more females.
Right.
Like it's almost 85% females. And then as far as the organization, it's about 65% female.
And most of them are in the food industry?
Are different industries, but
Okay.
and then if we were like specific to the food industry, it's like balance 50-50.
Ah.
But as far as members, there are more women entrepreneurs interested in a part, and actually more hands-on with BBOC than there are males. We are strategically trying to change that, though.
Right.
Meaning I've added more males to my team, because males tend to join and be a part of things where they see more males, and also doing things that attract males, doing different events that males would come to.
Right.
And so we definitely, but we also enjoy that we do have women, and because women, when a woman trusts you, that's how I feel in my organization, that goes a long way,
It
because she
does.
goes out and tell other people, and
Yes, she
women are
does.
definitely like the monarchs are and the beacons in our community,
Mhm.
and they really go out and spread the word.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's not a problem. It's actually a great thing. We just wanted also to have males don't tend to ask for help, and maybe they
No,
don't
we
feel like
do
they
not.
need us. They may not feel like they
Yeah.
need an organization, or they don't want to invest in an organization. But we do have a lot of males. And what's up to all everybody on my team and everybody, all the members and things.
What's the?
I don't want nobody to feel left out. I'm like,
Well,
I
you got to
appreciate
say
all
hello to
y'all.
everybody.
Everybody,
Really?
right?
Really? Really? No, I'm not. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Listen, what's the average age?
I don't know the
Oh, give
exact.
me
The
a-
other
give
ones
me
I
the-
know the exact number, but
What about the age
range would definitely in if I give a range, 35 to 55.
Oh,
So yeah, we're startup, like for our startup members, it's a definitely younger, a lot younger, but 35 to 50, 55 is pretty. Most of our members are in that age range,
Huh.
which is to me most adults, like
Right,
at that
right,
adult
right, right.
age. Yeah,
are a lot of them? I don't want to say true entrepreneurs, but are a lot of them business owners, and that's it, or are they doing it on the side and still
I
working?
was I would say 75% have a job or something else, 25% are full,
But they want to break
100%.
away.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And so everybody has their own plan. And some do want to break away, some like that they are not. And so and that was intentional also as far as allowing business owners that even the hustlers, the ones that I don't know, I just know I'm making money and teaching them the legalities of a business
Teach me.
and not shunning them. And
Right,
so
right.
I noticed a lot of their organizations, they would shun some that were not there. And so our membership committee actually, this is a conversation that we have a lot. If someone applies and we say, that business, maybe we don't think that their business is legit. We won't approve them as a member as of yet because you need to be legit to be a member of BBOC. But we set them on a plan to get them all the paperwork they need to get in so that their business is a real business. And that process could take 6 months, a year. But during that time, we help them and we give them resources. We send them to certain places. And some get it done fast and some it takes time.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
So what legitimizes a business?
Well, it depends on the business, on that
Right.
particular business, but it could go from you having to file your 501(c)(3) or file through the state. It
Right.
depends on. We really look at it. Are you in? Have you filed with the city, state, and with the IRS? Also, do you have your beyond that? So if you're in the food industry, do you have your inspection? Do you have all
Right,
these other
right,
things,
right,
and so
right.
you can actually sell products and sell food? So there is a lot that it comes to, but if you just have an online business, it may look different from somebody that has a restaurant.
I get that.
And
Yeah.
so, and what means legit, you could be legit and not be able to sell products.
Right.
Meaning your business could actually do all the right things to pay your taxes, all that stuff, but you haven't done the right things to sell.
Right. That is true.
And so you can just advertise your business, but you haven't done the right thing. So I really commend our membership committee because it's a lot
Yeah.
that they have to do year round.
Do businesses have to, is there a fee for them?
Yeah. So when we first started, there was not a fee.
Right.
And that definitely we had thousands and thousands of members because of that. But the good thing about that is all these entrepreneurs and they registered so that we could keep up with them and say, now that we're transitioning, our organization has grown, and as of January of 2018, we started applying dues.
Right.
So the benefits though outweigh the amount that they pay. Right now, membership is $120 a year for premier members, and it's $60 a year for general. And for startup, it is $50 a year. And so, startup means you're in the first 2 years as far as how we qualify it.
Right.
And so what that provides the business owners for every single one of the premier, general, or startup, they get to advertise in our marketplace, and they're the only ones that get to advertise. Only members can advertise their business in there to over 17,000 people. That's 90% local. So
So you had 17,000, 1,000 and BBOC?
in the marketplace, yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
And with that marketplace, we control the growth, meaning we don't just, you have to actually fill out a questionnaire to become a part of that marketplace.
Right.
You're not an official member, but you are a group member. You're in that group. You can buy, sell. You can sell if you are a member,
Okay.
official member. But you can go in there, you can ask questions. You can say, where is a black doctor? Where is a black lawyer?
Yeah.
Anybody can do that.
Yep.
But in order to advertise and create like a marketing strategy for in there, you have to be an official member,
Yep.
meaning you've been vetted.
Yep,
People
yep.
can trust you. And if you go into the BBOC marketplace, you can go in the search thing and search Premier or search for any particular type of company, and you'll see years and years of, well, the last 3 years
Sure.
of different businesses that you can go out and invest in. I mean, that you can support and invest in.
No, that's good though.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool. What's when businesses come to you, people come to you, what's their biggest request?
If they don't know what we do, their request is, can you provide us capital? That's probably the number one question in it.
Mm.
And it used to shock me because I'm like, oh, so did somebody tell you that we are like giving money out to businesses?
Right, right.
And that, so what they see is they was like, well, you are creating these resources. Do you provide capital? And so that used to confuse me. And now we're actually, I see that that is something that may come in the future. And I think that was the one that they. What was? Repeat the question one more time. Make sure I
Yeah, no,
answer it.
what's been like one of their biggest requests?
Yeah, that was one of the biggest. Definitely one of the we. I don't know why we got that so much, but we got that a lot. And then another request that is a request that we can actually manage is how can you help me better my brand? I don't feel like my advertising. You know, I pay this amount for advertising, and I really don't get any traction. And so we set up workshops to teach people how to brand, to teach you how to present your best self to
Right,
and then
right.
you can use the marketplace as I see it as a focus group, because yes, we have the marketplace of 17,000 people, but you also can market beyond the marketplace, and you can market in there daily, and you can see what's working and what's not, and use that to now go out in the bigger world
Sure.
and promote your business.
Wow. Biggest request. So what are the businesses actually, and I know it's going to vary, I think, per business, but what do they come looking for? Are they looking for opportunity? Are they looking for what? What are they looking for?
They're definitely looking for connections. I would say they realize if I connect to BBOC, I connect to events. I connect
Right.
to our partners. They know that we're partnered with Spectrum. They know that we're partnered with City of Charlotte and whoever else. And they're like, okay, that gives me connections. That gives me, and it is definitely true. When NASCAR reached out to us, NASCAR is a partner. When they reached out to us and they was like, we need 10 food trucks, or we need 10 whatever business. We know that we go directly to our members and say,
Right.
this opportunity is before you, who's available. And so they get that. They get
Okay.
those connections. Also, I definitely think, I keep talking about the marketplace, but I think that is the drawing. Even though we have other benefits
Right.
like training and membership meetings and networking, I think the being able to advertise in that group really is enticing to business owners.
I mean, I think yeah, I mean, it sounds like it would be. It makes perfect sense. The, where is the biggest need? Oh yeah, where is the biggest need?
Capital.
Back to capital again.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all about the money, all about the Benjamins. Um, bi- Black business owners, especially in Charlotte, being that Charlotte is the lowest in the country in economic mobility. 95% of those that are born in poor stay in poor.
Sure,
And
yeah.
even though Charlotte is pretty, it has more, I would say, it's more of a transient city.
Right.
And has less natives. People come here for economic opportunities. They leave those places that they feel like is low in economic opportunities. They see that Charlotte, when they see it on TV, is thriving.
Sure.
When in actuality, for the Black community, who's most impacted by being the lowest in the country, economic mobility is not thriving as much as those, that are not Black. And so they come and they need economic opportunities. They need someone to look at them personally and say, I want to support your business. And that is the biggest thing. They want us to see them, and they want us to support and help them get on that same path that they see on TV, that they see, other businesses. And all they need is, sometimes all businesses need is advice.
Right. Right.
I mean, if we would just be more willing to tell people, you know what, you can take A, B, or C. And what I found, and I try not to have this same thing with BBOC, is we need to be open. We need to be, it could be as simple as making a post and saying, this is how you could do this, and giving people advice. That goes a long way. If my mentor had not called me and said, I think you should do restaurant week or something, I was like, what? He was like, you should take your platform and do.
Right.
And I was like, he said, sit on it. And I sat on it, and I was like, he is out of his mind. Like, I can't pull that off. And I had 45 days, and I pulled it off, or we pulled it off.
Right, sure.
And that changed it changed the entire organization. It changed my entire life. And
Wow.
so I am a big believer in providing people resources. Some people are not willing to listen,
Oh, sure.
but
Yeah.
those that are willing to listen, it's going to take them far. And so as an organization, that's what we try to do. We try to put out a lot of content, a lot of advice, a lot of resources to help businesses level up.
So when you said that, I think you said Spectrum and NASCAR were
Mm-hmm.
sponsors.
Well, they're partners,
Oh, partners.
community partners, yeah.
Okay. So they call you from time to time when they want a number of black businesses
Yes.
to do whatever. Is there anything in place that probably not, because I don't think because they're not paying you anything.
Well, every partnership is different,
Right.
And so we call it kickbacks, and
Sure.
so that is a new territory that we're going in now. That my team is, but there is always possibility for kickbacks. But right now, how we set it up is it's a mutual partnership. In if you benefit our members,
Right.
that's the most concern that that's what we're concerned about. You provide our members an opportunity, we'll partner with you. And now it's turning into we know the value of what we're doing,
Yep.
and now you have the money in order for you if you want to utilize our numbers. There's a monetary value to that.
But is BBOC at the point though where you can tell them, listen, you've been giving this one company, I don't know, just say $500.
Mm-hmm.
We know the value is really 850.
Right.
Why are you not doing that? I mean, is BBOC at that?
I think
point
we're
yet?
beyond that point.
Okay.
Yeah. I think because right now we're backtracking to have those conversations.
Okay.
But we also you have to tread lightly in that. But I see the value. Once we knew the value, and once we actually put the value down on paper, and we have the right people in place to put a stamp of approval on that. I mean, our accountants, different people that we have in place to say that this is the value. There was my keys.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the value of what you have. Once that was established, now we can go and we can come to the table especially with new partnerships.
Okay.
And actually, the newer partners are the ones that when they came with googly eyes whenever we talk about anything that we have, especially the marketplace. I never saw the marketplace as members.
Right.
I saw it as group members. But when I was having a conversation with Geico, and they were like, you have over 25,000 members, because they were adding our official members.
Right.
Plus. I was like, no, we only have like 3,000 members at the time. And they were like, no, you have 25,000 members, because you have access to them.
Mm-hmm.
And like they were telling me what to say, and I was like,
Right.
oh,
Right.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it that way. And so now the conversations change when we have conversations with different organizations, and they may not sign today, but a lot of times they'll say, well, let's do a 3 to 6 month plan where we're kind of like working together. We do an event together, we do something,
Right.
and we come back to the table at this time, because they want to really see, do we benefit from this relationship? And now so that's how it kind of used to be. Now it's more like, going back and forth to make sure that we're getting what we're supposed to get, and they already see the value. So it's changed. The conversations are definitely changing.
How is BBOC? I mean, let me back up a little bit. Have you seen where the organization has taken one company A, 2 years ago, and now the same company is doing extremely well?
Yes. So we have it's a lot of different companies that have actually really evolved since joining. One in particular is Street Gourmet. Street Gourmet started with us in August of last year, and they had just started their food truck.
Right.
And she's publicized the story, and it's amazing. And so from August to like December, the first 6 months in business, normally up it could be up to 2 or 3 years. You're in the red sometime.
Uh-huh.
The first 6 months they made a profit. They had just bought a brand new food truck, and I would say at least spent $50K into investing in that business to start it
Right,
off, if
right.
not more than that. They actually made a profit by December, and now they're open their storefront. And they have the capital, they have the everything they need, and she constantly gives credit to BBOC, even though I think it's all of it above. It's BBOC, it's her management of her team, it's all those
It's a
things.
combination
But
of
she
things, yeah.
definitely says that Black Food Truck Fridays, which is powered by BBOC, is the reason why she was able to go from, and still have a food truck
Right.
and go from a food truck to a storefront.
Speaking of Food Truck Fridays, does that go on year round?
Yes. So when we first started, it started during Charlotte Black Restaurant Week.
Mm-hmm.
And had I listened to other people, because other people that's from Charlotte was like, you can only do this once a year. You had 5,000 people come the first time, 5,000 not coming back again. Charlotte's not used to that. And especially you took such a risk, don't do this more than one time. And I remember looking down at the crowd, and God was like, it ain't about you. That's number one. And number two, there's a need. Like, there's no way that there's not a need for this many people to come at such a short notice.
Right.
And we didn't pay for advertising.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have a budget to pay for advertising. And that's how I kind of became a marketer also, because I learned algorithms and things. But
Right,
for
right,
that
right.
many people to come off a small budget, just off of a movement, they don't know who's doing it because they didn't know me.
Right.
And it never was about me. And they came because they saw something that was for them.
Sure.
And so I was like, well, let's just try this thing quarterly. So we did it, and we did it again I think we did it again. That was in October. So we did it one more time. We was like, let's do it one more time this year. And we did it like during Christmas time, and it was a success again. And then the next time was CIAA, and it just kept. And so we
Right.
kept doing it like once every 3 or 4 months. And now we do it every 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. So it just kept growing and kept growing, and it attracted Black Enterprise, it attracted Essence, it attracted all these different organizations that I would never think would even look at us.
Wow, that's
And now
amazing.
we're going, we're doing a Buy Black national tour. We went to Greenville, South Carolina, which is close to my neck of the woods.
Right.
And in 3 days, well, we promoted the event for 30 days, but we did not have a location. So, if you don't have a location, people don't come.
Mm-hmm.
So from Wednesday to Friday, we finally found a location thanks to Relentless Church, Pastor Gray. And in 3 days, 4,000 people came.
Wow.
Yeah, so like now we know, okay, we can use the same playbook. We actually have a playbook that we go by. We can use the same strategy that we use in Charlotte around United States.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so. Speaking of United States, is BBOC growing to the point where that C is going to have to become an
Corporation.
A?
We've
Okay.
we already filed. So we're changing. Black Business Owners of Charlotte will remain Black Business Owners of Charlotte because it's the headquarters.
Sure.
But our brand BBOC is now going to mean Black Business Owners Corporation. And so, yeah, that's so.
That's good.
Yeah,
Makes
and
sense.
so now we can have chapters in different places.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cathay, that's wonderful, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely freaking amazing.
Thank you.
Damn.
I appreciate it.
No, you're welcome. I'm not just saying that. I mean, I have a fair amount of people that come on this show on this network, and we talk about a lot of things. Business is certainly one of them. But listen, your model, man, I think it's fantastic. It's not over the top, and you're beating expectations.
That is what my dad taught me.
Yeah.
Always, because I used to try to just accept, like, boom, and
Right.
promise, especially with landscaping.
Yeah.
He used to get on me all the time, and he would be like, "You," and my dad and my stepdad would say this. I would just go to a client, and I would be like, "I'm gonna get you a spa, and I'm gonna get you a big." Like just all these
Right,
things, and he would like chill. Like, that's why you're calling me now, because you can't deliver,
Right.
and I got to come and rescue you, or my brother would come and rescue me.
Right.
Because I done promised all these things that I knew I could do if I had enough time to do it.
Right.
But in a time crunch, it's a different story. So I learned to, for one, do your market research, do a lot of research, and follow what the needs are, and then promise exactly what you can deliver on. I know
Right.
we can start chapters, but I'm not trying to start 50 chapters at one time.
Yeah.
We start, you do a little bit at a time, you maximize the budget, and you make sure it's high quality, and you do the best that you can do, and then you go to the next thing, but you continue to, you be consistent
Right. Of
on
course.
what you already.
Of course.
So Charlotte, we're not leaving y'all. I mean, you're the home. We'll always be the home, and other people need what we're doing also. And also, we're not blocking anybody else. Just don't call it BBOC or Black Food Truck Fridays or Charlotte Black Restaurant.
Right.
But we want people to develop other things for Black people. The need is so great. We cannot do this by ourselves. And
it
so I love seeing people will come to me and say, "Oh, this Black event is over there. It look like you." And I was like, "No, it don't. Like, that's their thing. They let them
Right.
do their thing.
Yep.
I didn't even know about it, or if I do know about it, it's great. Like, let them grow and let them expand.
Right.
We need all the help we can get."
Let me ask you something, man. Have you, over the last several years or so, I guess,
Mhm.
have you felt or sensed or just had a very good feeling about where Black folks are going now?
It's like up and down, but I'm inspired, but I'm also in the back of my mind, like, always cautious.
Right. Sure.
Because it's like, when I look at our history,
Right.
not something we did to ourselves, but every 20, 25 years, something would happen drastic that would impact us more than everybody else in it. And going back to the 60s, when, like, insurance fraud, and going back, I mean,
Yeah.
just so good, even further back than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But even more recently was the recession. Those things hurt us more, and it's like it wipes out the Black dollar. It wipes out our income, and we
It
see it
does,
as this
yeah.
is just a governmental, just something happening that impacts everybody. To me, it's things that could have been prevented, could have been
Right.
intentional. Who knows?
Mhm.
But I know it always takes us back. Now we are definitely we bounce back as a people. We have resilience, and
We
that's
do.
how I see
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
And we are able to take the smallest thing and really stretch it and make it great. But when it comes to wealth, we got to learn how to really circulate dollars back into the Black community, not just talk about it.
Right.
Not
Right, right.
just and the dollars are in the hands of 90% who is white.
Right. Of
And
course.
so I would not advise anyone to say, well, how are you going to get that money if you don't have some type of communication
Yeah.
with those in its hands?
Yeah.
But also, how do you not sell out either?
Right.
They need to know what your mission is and how you're doing it, but those dollars need to be circulated back. And then when you get down to 10 to 15%, we are outnumbered when it comes to that wealth. But how do we at least retain what we have and circulate that around while also pulling from those that have it?
That's a tough job.
The Jewish did it.
Yeah. Of course. Of course.
Yeah. It's possible, but it's like we don't have anyone to say this is what we need to do. I think Killer Mike made a great point as far as politics having a 10-point agenda.
You saw that recently?
I was like, I wanted to be there, but
Yeah.
like, as far as having a 10-point agenda, but we also need to have some type of wealth plan that goes beyond something somebody can't get. Most people
Right.
can't go buy a house and just flip it. What is something that's tangible that
Sure.
all of us can do? And that's a Black ecosystem, and that is buying Black, supporting Black. That's easy. We all can do that.
That is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true.
So yeah, that's what I see. I know
Wow.
I got hyped. I'm like hyped up about it.
Well, you know something? I was going to go over I'm going to come back to that. So let me, now that you're talking about that, let me go ahead and make this announcement.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The and this is something, just so everybody knows, that has been in my brain for a minute, and I had an aha moment probably a few days ago, and I ran it by Cathay. And what was your response? You were like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Perfection.
right,
That's what
perfection.
yeah.
I said, okay. So, folks, here's the idea. It's called Crafted. Watch, shop, buy, support. Crafted is like a home shopping network, except it's for black folks or
Love
people
it.
of color. If you have something that you're making, you can come here on the network and showcase it. If you have a service, and some people say, well, I don't know how you can do a service. For instance, if you have a small lawn care business, of course you're not going to be able to bring your lawnmowers here, but you can certainly talk about maybe you use a gator blade versus a straight blade. Maybe you use certain types of equipment. Maybe you can recommend certain types of grass seed. And that's how you're going to begin to sell that. But again, Crafted is about, bringing people who do craft brews or homemade leather good, custom clothing, jewelry, landscaping. If you have an event planning company, wedding planning, if you have a brand new product that's never been seen before, this is going to be the place to bring it. And again, you've got 30 minutes to talk about your product and or service. It's a 2-hour show, and in 2 hours we can showcase 4 different companies.
I love it.
Yeah, and we're going to do this twice a month. You can bring your product on the show. Services can be discussed as well. And before each show, we have to go over with you how to best sell that product. In terms of the cost of it, we're trying to work that out right now. But I can tell you right now, it's going to be pretty damn cheap.
Right.
So that's the latest thing that we're doing here at Square Media. It's called Crafted Watch, Shop, Buy, Support, because when you're live and you're showcasing your service, and that's the other thing too, and I'll have to say this again, that show is live. Live, and that way you can tell people where to go to buy your product. Is it at XYZ website? Here's the phone number you can call for that. All of that stuff can be done live on the air. And so my launch, I'm trying to launch this probably a week or two before Thanksgiving holiday. Thanksgiving.
That's perfect.
Which is what, right before Black Friday or
Yes.
whatever it's called. That's when I want to try to launch it. And I'm hoping that with the help of Cathay and BBOC, we
Yeah, I
can make
got
this,
you.
okay,
I got
we can make this thing happen.
Yeah, I got you.
But I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I was saying that you already know. Like, it's a shoe in as far as the it provide opportunities to our members, and I think it's a great idea.
And once you make that video, it's there forever.
Yes.
It's going to be on the server. People can go to it. It'll be cut up, chopped up, however we like to really do that. If somebody wants to go to that particular show and learn about soaps that you've made, they can go right to that.
Right.
So I think it's a really good idea, and I'm hoping that. Here's the thing for me: so many things that we as black folks do a lot of stuff. We're very creative. We do a lot of things, but no one really knows about it. And I wanted to develop this so that more people will learn about the services and products that you guys make. So again, even if you think about like Shark Tank, they're given 10 minutes, 12 minutes, I think, to talk about their product.
Right.
Here you're given about 25 minutes because we have to break it up and get the other show on too. But still 25 to 30 minutes to talk about your product and or service. So I think it's a pretty good deal. So
I think so.
stand by and just kind of look for that to come. It's going to happen, and I'm trying to push for the second or third week in November. Getting ready for Christmas.
I think it's perfect, especially for Black Friday. So
Oh, yeah, true. And maybe Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if you we do a on Black Friday. This will be the third annual. We do a buy black on Black Friday, and so like normally what how you go and you do doorbusters at
Right.
the other places. We do our own. That's you can go and do black vendors, and save 25 to 50%.
Right,
And I
right,
could
right.
see like it being like having those putting it into it and tying it into the show.
Yeah.
I'm all about that's how
Yeah.
you do it. And
That
so there's
that
a
can be
way
done.
we can talk about it, but there's a way we can like tie that part of them being on, the first so and so amount of vendors that sign up. We send you the fee and they're already tied into the show. So they're
Right.
automatically, and so it's like a benefit for the vendors, it's a benefit for the show, and it ties into buying black on Black Friday, and they get crafted
Yeah.
on the show. I loved
Exactly.
it. And I love the word crafted because it's like, it means more, it's like, it's hands on, but it's also mean like you're crafting your vision. And you're
Exactly.
getting out there. I love
That's
it.
exactly right.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I came up with crafted because I thought about I had some leather belts made.
Yeah.
I'm like, that dude, they really handcrafted that thing. I'm like, oh, crafted. I like that. So that's why I've got
like
handmade leather goods up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a way to kind of showcase what we do, how we do it. I can't tell you how many times I go to Asheville and I see all of the vendors there on the streets, and they make fantastic products. They really do.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see many. Well, I don't see any of us up there. I'm not. That's not a bad thing. I mean, it is what it is. But I'm just saying that there's enough of us in the Carolinas that can take advantage of this, and that way you can kind of showcase what you're doing.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to say this is just for Charlotte. Please, I would never do that.
Mm-hmm.
This is for anybody in the viewing area. If you can come here to the studio, excuse me, and be on the show, and that way you can showcase, how you make your soaps, or how you make your perfume, or how you make your hair products, or how you and what the cost of it is, and where they can go buy it.
Love it.
Hello.
Yep. And like you said, they can keep sharing it and sharing it and sharing
That's
it.
exactly right.
Yeah. Video is where it's at, y'all. So
Yeah.
from a marketing viewpoint, you want to do as much video as you can do, and short videos. And so like you were saying, like once you do the video, you can just share it. People, and then it shows people they see the value
Absolutely.
in it.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Wow. And I'm going to come back to this in just a second, but let me get to this. Where did it go? Here. Okay. Now I ask every guest these questions. So I'm not going to ask you the first one, which was, hey, what do you think about the political climate? Well, I think I know what you think about it. So, Me Too, Black Lives Matter, Time's Up, Living While Black. Are they still important?
Is Me Too, Black Lives Matter, Times Up, Live? Are they still important?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that the media sometimes tries to take away from what they are, but
Yeah.
it doesn't change what they are to us.
Right,
And to
right.
the people that movement is for.
Yep.
The people that don't understand the movement, it never had value anyway.
That's
But I think it's extremely important. I think if Black Lives Matter told us, if that organization, and they're dealing with a lot of different things from different angles, but if they said don't eat at this place, we're not going to eat at that place.
Right.
But I think sometimes we allow the media to kind of change our perception of organizations. But for me and for those that believe in those movements,
Yeah.
I think they're stronger than ever.
Yeah, I agree. What's your favorite restaurant?
Ooh, I don't know if I can answer that. I'm just playing. Because I do Charlotte by Restaurant Week, I plead the fifth. No,
Gotcha.
let me see. I would say my favorite food is sushi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cooked sushi though.
Yeah. I
See
get
that made me safe because none of my black folks cook sushi.
Favorite drink?
Favorite drink would be
And it doesn't have to be
it's
alcohol.
sad. It's a RX Energy. It's an Arizona drink. It's the only energy drink I drink.
And it's called what again?
RX Energy. It's made by Arizona. It's not nice.
Oh, I see. But okay.
That's
yeah,
sad.
yeah.
But I don't drink alcohol.
No, it's
so
okay. No, that's
that's
fine.
like water in Arizona. So I don't drink alcohol. So.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I do drink alcohol, by the way, people. I like Campari, and I like B&B. So anyway, where do you go? Then check this out. Try to imagine this. Where do you go when you close your eyes and you inhale and exhale? Where do you mentally take yourself?
To the mountains. I really like the mountains. I like being like on the edge of the mountain, but in peace.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I constantly center myself. So I'm glad you said that. I love like just I'm so busy. I can always be doing something. So
Sure,
like
sure.
centering and just closing my eyes and going to that place
Right.
in the mountains is like it gives me absolute peace.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Where's your favorite place to travel to?
Favorite place to travel that I've been to is Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Where I want to go in my mind, Dubai or
Yeah.
Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
But definitely Puerto Rico. I've been there many times.
How do you define black excellence?
Black excellence is just being successful and really understanding that you're beautiful in your own skin and really just achieving in a midst of just us being persecuted in so many just living
Right.
but
Right.
definitely black excellence is confidence and success and just believing in yourself and believing in and really loving the skin that you're in. That's what black excellence
That's
for
important.
me.
Yep, I agree with that. So here's the last question. What or who is God?
God, for me, is definitely the ultimate spiritual being. I think that religion has created different types of gods, but I really believe that once we all come together and realize that we're really serving or really praising the same person,
Right.
and
Right,
that
right.
you know religion has made us kind of dissect it down so that it's more manageable.
Mm-hmm.
But God is something you can feel. Now I'm forced to believe in God. Blah blah
Of
blah.
course.
Slavery, all these different
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
things. But I was like, what helped me know without a doubt that God exists was losing my grandparents and my brother, because when I specifically my grandma,
Mm-hmm.
God showed me the time, the moment, he allowed me to prepare my family for the moment. I knew how it would look. I knew who would talk to me. I knew every step of the way of that process. And since then, I'm like, there is no way that I knew that on my own. Because I literally told
Right.
people about it. Like, this is how it's going to happen. This was going to be the moment. And it happened exactly the way that he showed me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then like I prayed.
Mm-hmm.
Like she wasn't breathing, but I prayed. And I prayed and I hit my hand on her forehead and I lifted my hand and I said amen and lifted my hand and her heart stopped. So it was like in that second. And so since that moment, I'm like, there is no way in all the millions of seconds that I was able to raise my hand and say amen and her heart stopped. It's
Right.
just so those things, so to somebody else, they may not understand it.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it made me 100% know that
That's-
God is real.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
That is very, very cool. A lot of people look kind of stunned by the question, but that's your answer was amazing.
God is real, so
Yeah.
it doesn't stun me at all.
Right, right. Cool. I wanted to say this one more time. Crafted. Watch, shop, buy, and support.
That's a whole thing. I mean, you think about QVC.
Yeah.
We need black owned QVCs. Black. We need all that.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I see it.
there it is.
Yeah, it's there.
It's coming.
It's done. It's already done.
Yeah.
And that's my initials. So I'm like, that's perfection.
That sealed the deal
That's
right there, folks.
perfection. That's perfection. But I'm proud of you. That is great.
Good. I'm glad you like it. Seriously.
Oh yeah,
I'm glad you like that.
for real. Like I always, if you would ask me and I didn't really, I would have been like, I don't know. Like I I would, because I don't want you to say, well, you said that.
Right. No, no,
Nah,
no, no.
I was like, that is like, I like that. So
That's dope.
that's dope.
Right. Cathay, we're at the end of the show, man.
All right.
Let me go over a couple of things for next week. Listen, by the way, I'm really glad you were able to come here.
Thank you. I'm
I
glad that you
really am.
invited me. I really appreciate it. I
Yeah.
really do.
Had you seen any of these shows before?
Yes. So I seen Yolanda's show,
Mm.
and I went and saw your show, and so now I've seen more. But I was prepared because I had to prepare myself to make sure that
Well, at least here, this is really all about having a conversation.
Yeah.
That's what almost every show is about. There's a couple of shows like on Brandon's show. Brandon's very technical when he's talking about psychological things, but that's just Brandon. But in general, it's about having a really deep, sometimes not so deep, conversation, and that's what's important to me.
And just the opportunity to really, like, it's not even a gloat. It's real. Like, people don't know me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They might know a post, but those that don't know me need to see I'm just normal. And that,
No, you're not.
no, what I'm saying is normal as I'm approachable.
I get it.
It's crazy how people come up to me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be looking like, if you don't stop, like, you don't have to. I'm not like a lot of people here in Charlotte.
Right.
You don't have to
right,
put
right,
on a
right.
facade.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can say, you know what, my business is effed up. Oh, and those that usually end up on my team or somewhere around you know what I'm saying? There are just so many people that put on a facade here.
Right.
And you don't need to do that. And I am approachable, and I see us all as great. And it's just like, learn how to educate yourself
Right.
and capitalize on your thing.
So I guess some people think that you're not approachable because they've never met you. Is that what it is?
Yeah, and they think I'm stuck up. They think
Well, where the heck they get that from?
the reason I'm saying that is because after they get to me, they're like, "Oh, I thought you were stuck up." I'm
Yeah,
like,
where'd you
"What?
get that
That's in your
from?"
mind."
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's it's just how people are here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Or
So
if I
true.
don't, I'm not one that if I go to a gala or any type of like convention, anything, I'm not the one to run up to people.
Right.
I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're like this big person.
Right, right.
I'm just like chill, and
Yep.
that is what people are not used to. They expect people to kind of, who ran out? No, like just
Yeah, I
I'm
don't do
good.
that either.
Like I'm not like that. And I know a lot of people that are, and they just like, oh, this so and so, you need to go over there. I'm like, okay, I get that strategy of you get your networking kind of thing,
Right,
but
right.
I'm not finna run up to nobody. You know,
Yeah, I
but
do.
it's people like that. though.
I agree. I know that. I mean, you're absolutely right about that. I think it's bizarre and I think it's crazy.
It happens a lot though,
Yes, it does.
a lot.
Don't I know it? Hey, folks, thank you for watching. Listen, let me tell you about what shows that are coming up for the remainder of the week. Tomorrow at 7 p.m., The Slant with Brandon Risher is on. He's continuing to talk about relationships, and this particular time he's talking specifically about how important communications is in a relationship. It's vital. You got to be able to talk about. And let me just say this, because I wrote it down as he said it. You got to talk about conflict resolution and productive conversation. Sometimes you can talk to people and that conversation is not productive at all. It's like, what the hell was that?
Just trying to make your point.
Yeah, shut up. So he's going to be talking about that. Tomorrow night, we have a we have a new show announcement tomorrow night. So we just got finished announcing one, which is phenomenal, crafted, by the way. Tomorrow night, we're going to announce another one. A friend of mine, Mandisa Thomas, I'm going to Skype her in. She's going to help me to announce the new show. She's in Atlanta, but well, I guess she's going to be in Atlanta, but that's going to be on the show tomorrow evening. Thursday, Yolanda Trotman, her show, The Conversation, is on at 7 o'clock. Tariq Mix, the artist, is going to be on her show. They're talking about art, how he comes up with his ideas, where's his head go, that kind of thing. So, and I'll just say this: I have one cousin who is an artist. They can go places that you don't want to go. I'm just kidding. They do produce fantastic work, though. And then tomorrow night, Thursday night, I have another show, 9 p.m. We're talking about politics in Gaston County. Danielle Barber is running for the City Council Ward 6 seat. And the Anthony Gallant is going to be on the show. He's the CEO of State Farm Agency here in Gastonia. And so we're going to be on the show talking about politics in Gastonia. So, and I'm hoping that next week the mayor is going to be on the show. So I'm working on that too.
Oh, wow.
Folks, that is it. That's the end of the show. I always appreciate everybody who watches. I'm always amazed at the growth of this company, the growth of this network, and I always have to say that it is way beyond me, way beyond me, because so much is happening. It is happening so quickly, and it's happening for one reason, because of one reason. Do I need to say it?
All God.
It's all God, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it. But
Wow.
again, we're working on, continuing to build onto the website. We are beginning to develop a newscast, but it's not like going to be your typical newscast. It's going to be news commentary. There's also another segment that we're working on for anyone who used to be in radio or anyone who's had a podcast for quite some time. They can go on what's called Channel 13. That's coming up as well.
Oh, wow.
Channel 13. And there's a cost associated for that. I think it's $150 a month.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to develop up to 3 shows, minimum 2 shows, but you don't bring anything. Everything is already here. The equipment is here. You can go live. Or if you don't want to go live, if you just want to record it, it's all the same price. But you have the opportunity to go on 3 times a month, and that's pretty doggone good. But that's going to be called Channel 13.
Love it.
I'm laughing because I'm like, this is insane. So anyway, Cathay, I think we're done, man.
All
and
right.
I know you asked me briefly about a show, but we'll talk about it after this.
Oh,
over
okay.
with.
Yeah, I didn't even.
Right. I didn't want to talk about that.
Right.
So, folks, thanks again. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you tomorrow night at 9:00. Have a good
All right.
night.
Peace.
Go shut this down.